Hello, my name is Gabrielle Parra. This is my persuasive speech. Today I'm going to be talking about one of the greater pandemics that not many people have talked about. So, audience member, you can flip the camera to see audience member. Okay.
Hello.
What do you think would be the worst tragedy of 2020? If you had to choose one, what was one of the biggest crises that first come to mind?
Pandemic.
Pandemic, okay. What's another one? It's a big issue that's been going on.
Burst in child care needs.
Child care needs. Some people would also say unemployment. Some would also say poverty increase, homelessness. Any others that come to mind?
Shortages of household goods.
Yes, toilet paper, that's been a big trouble for a lot of people. However, not one time do we hear domestic abuse.
Oh.
So whenever I say a new pandemic has broke out, I mean there has been a report of 4 times more cases of domestic abuse in Tarrant County in the past 4 years, all combined to this year. So this is the secret pandemic that we don't talk about. And why is this a topic we need to talk about? Why does it need to be stopped? Well, it's the rise of our generation. It's our children, it's your nieces, it's your nephews, grandchildren, cousins. It impacts everybody. And sometimes nobody knows that mental health is a big issue in this pandemic. Quarantines, isolations, it's very prevalent, especially with exposure. You have to quarantine for 14 days, even if you don't directly have COVID-19. I believe that I am credible to talk about this topic because number one, I am a mother, I am an aunt, and I have had to undergo quarantines myself this past year. And so I am talking today about why it is so important that we talk about domestic abuse. So whenever we think of people escaping domestic situations, we typically think women escape to shelters. Well, with COVID-19, they're trying to minimize that risk of exposure, so therefore they're not accepting new recipients. Or they have gotten so full that they cannot accept more spots. And these numbers have spiraled out increasingly. From Fox 4 News, this is a quote: "In America, specifically Tarrant County, intimate partner homicides have been declining in Tarrant County in the last 4 years, but 2020 is already the worst year on record. 17 homicides have been reported since stay-at-home orders went into effect in March." And these numbers are likely to go up, assuming we have another lockdown put in place. So why must this be changed and intervened? Overall wellness of our country. Cook Children's also in Fort Worth has reported a high number of cases with children with injuries from domestic abuse. A lot of times these are elementary and middle school students. A lot of times these students stay home with their parents to minimize the risk of exposure of COVID-19, but little do we know, we're running the risk of them being new victims of abuse. So how can we take a stand against this? We can reach out to these shelters, try to help donate to make new ones. We can also check in on our relatives, check in on the people who have kids. We also can do more efforts towards nonprofits that help aid these kind of families with these kind of situations. And this is also, I want to emphasize, this is not a Tarrant County issue. This is a global pandemic that nobody is talking about, and that's domestic abuse. So I hope today that you take the time to reflect and to listen to what I have had to say and reflect on how we can make a difference.